Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sick of Shit Broadcasting. I'm the host of this program, Mr. Sick of Shit. Because just like you, I'm sick of the shit. More all the time. It would appear that we are going to, at some point soon, exactly when, I'm not sure, how these things go. Unfortunately, intelligence really is fluid because you just never know what kind of a rabbit is going to be pulled out of a hat. But unless one is pulled out of the hat, we can expect to not only see a serious shortage of pretty much everything food-wise that requires a preservative, as well as a shortage of services. I'm talking about repair services. There are companies all over the country that are having difficulty getting parts from out of the country for pretty much everything. And without the necessary parts, repairs cannot be made. And it's taking upwards of several weeks for a lot of people to get various types of repairs made because parts are so scarce. The Suez Canal is losing water, and it is taking, for reasons I'm not exactly sure of, upwards of sometimes 3 and 4 weeks for ships to get through there. Maybe it's because of the low water. At any rate, it's also having some blockage issues, and it would appear that some of that is going on by China, who happens to be in control of the Suez Canal. As you well know, we are not on the best of terms with China these days, which has its good side and its bad side. We don't need to be getting into a war with China for any reason. But we really don't need to be so heavily dependent on them for goods either. What we need to do is start manufacturing our own like we used to do and have people buying from us rather than us buying from everybody else. That's part of the plan, unfortunately. The white-haired troll's plan and his trollish predecessor that we all thought was so wonderful. At any rate, excuse me, food processing plants are having difficulty with this same problem. They're working with very old machines from, let's say, like 60s, 70s, maybe some of them might be as modern as the 80s, but it's still pretty old. And when these machines break down, well, they're having just as much difficulty finding the parts to make the repairs that they need to make as well. So we've got domestic repair shortage, repair service shortage because of parts shortages. And then, of course, we are soon to likely be seeing a lot of food shortages also in the grocery store, because the processing plants are having the same problem. Now, getting away from that is, if that's not bad enough, I'm sure those of you who are old enough to remember the crisis that came along in '08, what happened before our stock market went kapooey? You remember? China's stock market went kapooey. Well, guess what? Their stock market's going kapooey again. And not only is it going kapooey, but, well, they've had so much catastrophic bad weather that they're having to shut down a lot of factories. And no doubt they're probably also having to shut down food processing plants there as well. And a lot of the ones that are owned here are owned by them, unfortunately. Well, all I can tell you, as far as China's economic downturn, If that's what started the global economic downturn that we had the last time, well, guess what? That's probably starting the global economic downturn again. But their banks are having just as much trouble as ours are also. That's not a good sign. People trying to dump their savings bonds, but nobody wants them. Why? Because when they were bought at a much lower interest rate. So when these people get, when their bonds come to fruition, they're going to be getting a whole lot less money than they would be getting if they were purchasing them now, because the interest rates are so high. This isn't good. They're low on, all these banks are low on money, and I heard from, I think it was Economic Ninja, almost 1,200 banks have closed. That's not good. How long is it going to be before they all close at the same time and nobody can get any money out? That would be a really bad situation. Well, all I can say as far as all of this is concerned is, as if all that's not bad enough, we're continuously seeming to be on the verge of World War III at any time. It would appear that North Korea is claiming that a nuclear attack on South Korea is imminent. Russia is being bombarded on a nightly basis. Moscow is being attacked every night from within and without by drones. So, it's just escalating. Everything's getting worse. Everything's getting worse all the time. And that white-haired troll in the Geritol house is not helping any. So, prep. Prep as much as you can. If you can't, I'm praying for you. I haven't done as much as I should be doing. But I'm doing what I can. Hopefully it won't be very much longer. I'll be moved out to my mom and dad's property and be living in my camper. I'm hoping it won't be much longer. At any rate, that's where things are, and it's not looking good. But don't lose hope. Do not lose hope, because there is always a light somewhere at the end of these very dark tunnels that we find ourselves in. Put your trust, hope, and faith in God. Treat everybody that you come in contact with as kindly as you can, because that's what He wants. If you see somebody in need, help them. Don't concern yourself with how it happened or what got them where they are. You don't know their story. You don't know their story. And it might be a lot sadder than you realize. You see somebody hungry, feed them. If they got a sign up saying that they're homeless and hungry, give them something to eat. You don't have to give them money if you don't want to. They could probably use it, but at least, if nothing else, just give them something to eat. Do what I do if you need to. Go to Walmart, buy some bags of the most nutritious trail mix that you can find, and if you see somebody in need that's saying that they're hungry, give them a bag of trail mix. At least they're not going to have to worry about whether it's going to go bad or not, and they're getting a good deal of nutrition. They're not getting junk. So, be kind to people. Show kindness. That's what God wants. We bless God by blessing others. Till next time, Mr. Sick of Shit, signing out.